Hi there, greetings from Northeast Ohio, where it's super cold here today. It was 11 degrees when I first got up. Whew, and it's not much better right now. But I'm here today to show you two new needle books that I have. And I will have to say these are probably my most grand and glorious ones. I don't know if I'm going over the top or not, but they are really charming and I wanted you to see them. They are on my Etsy site if you want to go there and take closer looks at all the details, but I want to explain it here because I always refer my customers on Etsy back to here so they can get a better explanation of the details. And let me move you out just a little bit. This book opens up a little bit bigger. Um, it's about the size of a, I think I measured it at 9 by 7.5, but of course it's thick with all the puffiness. It's completely fabric and lots of vintage elements and lots of slow stitching. But let me show you how it functions as a needle book. So when you open up the first page, there's a little pocket here I made out of a crazy patch piece of quilting, I guess. And in that pocket is a tiny little carry needle case or something that you could put the needles in or pins in that you don't use all the time. And especially nice for something like this are the little sharps or the quilting needles because they're so small, so short. If you keep them all in one place, it's easier to keep track of them. So that slips right in there. And here's one of the ancient Chinese proverbs about thread. And I stuck that in there. It is printed on fabric. If you would want to take it off of the backing, and then you could mount it somewhere in your book or somewhere else. But I didn't want to make that choice for anybody, so I just put it in there. This is an extra cushy pin cushion area here. Several layers of felting right here, and then this extra little loop for, I like to put straight pins on something like that. And then over here on this side, what you're seeing is the front page of the swinging pocket. And if you've never seen any of my other videos, they are more thorough in explaining how and why I created all these things. But I call these fins or leaves. They're little pleats in the felt that cause them to stick up a little bit. And boy, are they nice for poking your pins in. And they will grab your needles and pins and they won't as readily fall out. So that's very functional. This swinging pocket opens like this. And inside the pocket is a little travel vintage sewing kit. I found two really nice ones at the thrift store with all the pieces and parts. They've never been used. They're just too sweet. So I stuck one of those in here. Here's an extra little item to put a scissor down in or eyeglasses, and you can strings to tie them in. And then that fits in the pocket as well. And on the outside of the pocket, this is hand-dyed wool, and it makes a nice little pin cushion. And I put this swinging pocket on a hinge. And what I did was I used an old zipper as the hinge. It doesn't function for any purpose, but I stitched it in there with some decorative embroidery, some slow stitch, and it just makes the cutest little hinge for this pocket. And very appropriate because if you were ever a garment sewer, you've used zippers before. This little hanging pin cushion area is hooked on with a hook and eye. And I put these little This is hooks and eyes that already come assembled on a long stretch of really strong twill tape. So when you want to use it, take it out, bring it closer to you, and then hook it back in the book. And two more sets of fins, all of different density, and you'll find the right appropriate needles to put in there. And then it closes up, and there's the back. So let's get an overall view of the total construction here. Um, this is a fabric collage of vintage linens. Here is an old pillowcase, I think that was. This was a rescued textile from the thrift store. I painted it because it was somebody's practice on an embroidery machine. And it wasn't perfect, but I doctored it up and the colors all match. And then here's the original crocheted lace on a pillowcase and all these pieces and parts. And then I've added lots of slow stitching. And when you look at it up close, you can see it. It's really charming. So it's a beautiful book for somebody that's serious about their sewing. Both of them are. And you can add to this book. You can take away if there's something you don't like. But it is constructed to last a lifetime and go through a lot of wear and tear. So I hope you liked that one. It was fun to make. And then here's the other one. And this front will make more sense when I open it up. And this piece of fabric collage forms the front and the back. And it was an original tea towel on that counted thread fabric, has the original crochet along the edge. And it was just so nice I had to use it. So I added all these fabric collage pieces, dyed lace, and these images are pertaining to sewing or stitching, and I printed them on fabric and appliqued them on there. You can even get up close and read what that little, I think it's a scripture on there. Commit your works to the Lord and blah, blah. You know what that is. I love this one because it's an image of the old-fashioned embroidery packets where you get the prints with the ink on them, and then you iron them and stamp them onto your pieces. So that was just too appropriate too. So we'll close that back up, and then I'll open it this way. And when you see the first page, this is the end of a really nice dresser scarf. And I mounted it in there. Here's another one of the Chinese proverbs in this pocket. An old piece of embroidery on here. A pocket there with that brand new little travel sewing kit, which is just for nostalgia unless you really want to use it. And this hanging pocket, well, it's not a pocket. I was going to make it a pocket, and then I thought it needs to be just another page in the book. So that's what I decided to do. And the outside of this is a tea towel that had this swan and flowers already machine embroidered on it, and I wanted to use that. So a set of fins here, more denser set right here. And when you open this up, this whole inside of this page is full of places for your needles and pins. Safety pins, anything. You could have 5 or 6 or 10 needles threaded with different colors of thread if you're a cross stitcher, and some place to put them while you're using your working threads. And the back side of this leaflet, I put a little pocket with this cute little print of a seed packet on it. And then this has a little print of an English cottage. And I backed it with a piece of felt, and it forms a little pocket. This is a very wide pocket, and I made this little item to slip in the pocket. And it was one of those probably made in China tea towels that had, I better turn it around, had this flower already embroidered on it, so I added all this to it. These are printed on fabric, and they're replicas of old stamps or worldwide different kind of stamps, and a bird feather. And then all of the slow stitching I did on there. And then what I did with that is made it a zippered pocket. And now I used this because it was such a nice piece of linen, and I didn't want it to go to waste. So there you have a beautiful little zippered pouch for something, maybe your special scissors or threads or shanks, whatever you, shanks of thread that you want to carry with you. And I'll leaf back through it one more time, and there you have it. It's got some beautiful, beautiful images on it. And it just screams shabby chic, vintage, farmhouse, whatever you want to call it. So there's my 2 new needle books. I hope you like them. And if you haven't seen my other videos about needle books, I think I have 3 on there already, so this will make the 4th. One of my videos has 10,000 views, and I think the other one has 5,000 views. And I've got a lot of nice comments and people reaching out to me, because this is not a typical little needle book, you know, that's yay big. This is for serious sewers and people that want to keep all those things together. All right, I hope you enjoyed that look and or looking at them with me, and check out my Etsy site. I will link it, but in case I don't get around to it immediately to link it, you can find me on Etsy under Suzanne in Ohio, all one word, but you have to capitalize Suzanne and in and Ohio. The algorithm on Etsy is not that great, so you search for me or go to one of my other old videos where I've already got a link to my Etsy store. All right, cold today, burr, burr, burr. Hope you're comfortable wherever you're at, and most of all, I hope you're stitching or creating something, a journal, piece of landscape art, or whatever it is you do. But thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate it. Give me a thumbs up if you like the sewing books, and come back quickly. All right, bye.